The first question is, what did I enjoy the most as a teenager?
What I enjoyed the most is I'm very family oriented, so I like the family gatherings, and since we were always a lot, it was always fun to have everybody together and just experiencing whatever it was, having the sports and the family time, and having our parents support us through it all. I think that was very enjoyable for me. um, Again, for me, it all ties to family time and being able to just be together and do things as a family, and all the moments we shared laughing and making fun, and just the jokes. So that's really what I enjoyed.
Um, I enjoyed the way that she had just expressed. I enjoyed the family time, the sports. We all were very much into sports, so it was always exciting to be able to go to the backyard and kind of like have a few games of knockout or 21 or things like that, or having when we used to have the picnic tables. We would have like picnic meals outside with the family, and being with each other. There growing up, it was never a dull moment, although that we have our little bickerings here and there, but it was always filled with laughter. It was always filled with jokes, happy moments, and mom and dad always made it exciting when it came to birthdays or holidays. They were always so creative, and it's always curious and exciting as to what they have planned next, or what have they come up with for us to do as a family. So I think more is just any chance that we got to spend together as a family, I think that was very exciting, rather than anything else, and even more so just making those memories and strengthening that bond.
As a teenager, I guess I had a different view because I was one of the older ones. But I really enjoyed that time that I got to be very involved and have the whole entourage, the family come support at a game, and they're late and you couldn't function or anything, and I'd be looking as like, I hear my dad always messing with the ref. So once I know he was there, I was like, okay, ahí está. Everybody's there, and everybody was there cheering us on. That was one of the highlights when I was in school, just in playing sports, that as a teenager, I still brag about them. I do, and I always continue to brag, even when I was coaching and teaching, that I had that support. As a teenager, just a teenager, I really enjoyed we didn't have the phones as much back then, so I really enjoyed that outdoor play. You had until the sun went down, so springtime, the sun goes down later, we get some more time. And just being able to go out and make those memories with friends. It's kind of sad that now I was like, well, I wish I had a picture of that day, or when we'd go to the park and everybody from the park would come to the house, and we had everybody there at the house. That was my friends, Carlos's friends, or even my siblings' friends, and we're just making memories, laughing. And it wasn't a big deal because they knew that we were home, but they let us be teenagers as well. So just to be able to express ourselves, we were all very different. And it got harder when there was 3 teenagers in one house that, we would get on each other, but we're just at different stages, and we would hear, oh yes, ahí estabas tú también? Yeah, okay, I remember. But those were the best times because I didn't have to worry too much about being an adult or have an extensive responsibility, even though I did. It was just the role that I took as an older sibling, and yet I still had the chance to enjoy and be a teenager, be a kid at heart, and make those memories. So those are the greatest memories, and I still try to instill that. And I explained that I'm about to have a teenager in 2 months, and it's scary. So I try to let her know, hey, I still want you to just get out there, enjoy. It's like, despégate del teléfono. You only have it till a certain time, and if not, go outside. Go outside for an hour or 2, and then you can get your phone. But it's very hard to do because they're all in their indoor bodies, and I just don't understand that. But as teenagers, I think we want to make sure that we, or at least our parents, made sure that we had those memories and we established that early on to express ourselves without putting up so many walls. They just let the leash go just enough for us to learn and make the great memories. The second question is, how did I see my parents then as a teenager to how I see them now?
In a new light. As a teenager, you know, we want to experience things and we want to go here and go there, but everybody's going and everybody's doing this and that. So, you know, my parents were strict. They weren't crazy or anything, but now as, you know, as a parent and as an adult, I understand now. And I'm happy that they were the way they were, and for the no's that were given, the yes that were given. As a teenager, you know, it's like, Mom or Dad, you know, let me do this. And, you know, even though sometimes we would throw our fits because, you know, we wanted to go so bad or anything like that. Now as an adult, it's like, okay, I see why. You know, it's like in a new light. And as an adult, I'm grateful for everything that they did and how they were. And I respect them and everything that they are, and for the life that I was given. So, you know, it's completely different now, but now I understand.
I guess like as a teenager, I was a little bit more of a handful. I had more of a, I still kind of do, but it's more tame, but I had more of an attitude. Just because it was very strong in what I felt or what I thought, and I was a bit sometimes on and off with my parents. It was kind of hard to have like a steady relationship, just because you know, as a teenager, you're figuring out your way of who you want to be, and you know, how you want to be. And, you know, of course, there's gonna be circumstances in the sense that you're gonna come across you know, a good crowd or, you know, a bad crowd, and sometimes you get so consumed in, you know, not the best crowd, and you start kind of adopting their ways and everything. So that comes back home, and it would kind of just clash as to what I wasn't, you know, it wasn't part of what my parents had, you know, as to raising us. But nevertheless, you know, sports kind of kept me grounded. You know, the support that I had from my parents and my siblings, it was always fulfilling to have, to see, and to be able to experience. And it just got easier, you know, as growing up, understanding as to why mom and dad said no, why mom and dad said, you know, it's for the best on so and so. And, you know, back then it was really hard to understand that, you know, because I didn't know better, or, you know, I was just thinking of me rather than thinking of trying to understand why they stand by to their answer, or to their thoughts, or, you know, on any kind of topic. But now that I'm older, I'm not a parent yet, but I do understand why they were, you know, as strict and, you know, careful and responsible, you know, and it made me appreciate and love them even more. Sometimes it's sad to see that there's a lot of teenagers that don't have a healthy relationship with their parents, and it's really heartbreaking to see. And every time I see that, I just hug my parents and just thank them for the love they have given me, even through the times where it was even the times where I was a headache. And now I see them different. I love them, and I understand them, and I always really respect their motives, their decisions, and, you know, and their views of whatever it is that, you know, we're talking about, or whatever we come across.
As a teenager, then we had more strict, where we had more guidelines to follow. If we wanted to do something, it was always like, is it really worth asking to go hang out or go do this, go do that? Because we had to fill out some forms. We had to we had to do
5 Ws.
the 5 Ws.
We all did the 5 Ws.
I think sometimes with y'all it was just more like, okay, she did it, yeah, go ahead, go. But for us it was like, okay, who are you going with? What is it that you want to do? Where do you want to go? Why do you want to go? And
Sometimes
how much is it gonna be? It would turn into like, we're just doing something else next time, because I didn't want to have to go through that or get the rejection. And as a teenager, I do see that with my oldest. She's only in 7th. Like I said, she's gonna be a teenager in 2 months. And it's funny because they say, do you want to play softball? And she's like, Mom, I want to play because my friends are there. I was like, okay, play. But she's like, I don't want you to go. I was like, oh, if I ever told that to my parents, it was like and he say, yes, we're going to be there. We'll be there. Oldest girl, and I had to set some kind of tone and still be compliant and responsible, and do everything that I needed to do. So it was like I had to set the example for most. So it was harder, only because I felt there was a lot of expectations from me. How I see them now, they are the solid rock. If I have something wrong, it was always, call Mom and let me see what she says. And I always laugh because with my husband, he'd be saying, no, it's fine, it's this, and I'm like, okay, Dad, do you think this is okay? Okay, he said it's okay, I don't have to worry. But if he said, oh no, it's emergency, you gotta go take care of it, I would have, forget what my husband said, I need to go because my dad said I have to go take care of it. It's a different light, and I'm very grateful that they were and have been very involved from then till now. It hasn't changed. Sometimes I still need to ask permission, but it's just a sense of that love and that care and that importance of the family that we have grown together. And like I said, I'm about to have a teenager too. So these questions is kind of like, I'm starting to have these conversations with them, but trying to also not be as strict, and still have her enjoy that teenage years and those highlights of their life, because we always look back and it's like, hey, remember? So those are the great memories that we get. You see them one way and there will be they're like my worst enemies at the time. Some teenagers might think that, but as you get older and they become your best friends, and that's been my favorite transition from growing up as a teenager to as how I am an adult now. So
I want to take the opportunity to thank our daughters and to be able to share this with you. And this is it, straight from them. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.